Alright guys, you know what? I decided I take a lot of abuse because, all I have is stones, but stones do have certain advantages. And let me explain what I did with this stone here. Now this is a customized stone. I actually cut the edge with a 90. Let me show you my dressing tool. Okay, this is my 1760 dressing fixture. Okay, this is my original one I bought. I think I was still in high school when I bought it. And it's nice because it goes up to 90 degrees. So literally you can trim a stone to give you the exact size you want in the chamber. Okay, you can bring it right to the gasket line and you can shape it for a radius, and then the top has got I actually used a 15 degree cut because if you take a look at that nasty mess you have with the factory stuff. So I'd like to knock this back, okay, as evenly as I can, and then put my DV valve job in. Okay, some of the adjustments on here. This handle releases this entire arm assembly for different size stones. This is actually spring loaded. I have one of these that the pin that held the spring broke. I designed a different pin for it. That was one of the cheaper sets I bought. It had a broken handle. I designed a handle for it. You have that. You have the diamond that screws in and out. Now, one of the problems with these is this gets all full of nasty dust from the stones, which is usually, I would think most of it would be carbide. I don't know exactly what to make the stones out of. In any case, they're really tough, those stones. And the dust that comes off of them, your body probably can't break down, so don't breathe it. So between this adjustment, in and out, and the fine adjustment here, you can get the exact cut you want on the stone. You want a very, very light cut, otherwise you'll knock the metal that holds your diamond. You'll eat that metal away and your diamond will fall out. Okay? Now this is not the only design that Sioux made. This is the one that I like because I've had it since I was a kid. This is actually the more popular design. Let's get the number off of this. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. That's a 1713D. 1713D. Now this one looks worse than my old one, but this is actually one I bought new old stock. This was never used. And if you take a look at the plunger, it doesn't even have scratches on it. I think I used it once to test it and make sure it works good, and that's it. And the only reason I don't use it is I don't like to use it. It doesn't. I'm used to the other design. But one advantage this one has is it's set up, you can just hook a vacuum right up to it, because you don't want to be breathing in that horrendous dust. But yeah, I've got this. This is new old stock. Yeah, it's got a little rust on it because it's Florida, and everything rusts here. But the adjustments on this, here's your angle, and this is your distance here away from the axle shaft. This has a no diamond in it at the moment. You can see the diamond's completely gone. Once the diamond's gone, it's not going to really do much. Having trouble focusing, but I'm going to finish this top cut, and I'm going to do it in sections if the phone will stay paused long enough. I'd like to show you the different stages of this intake valve job. Okay, you can see we're coming down to where the original 30 was. Now this is 15, I said. So I'll bring this down and then put a 30 on top of it. You can see we're just taking a nick out of where the plug is, which is fine. Okay, you can see we're just starting to come into our top cut. You can see the shape of the stone is going to give us pretty close to the shape that I want coming off the seats into the chamber and shop itself. Okay, you can see we finally got a cut all the way around. And somebody's going to say, "Oh, Charlie, it's a little bit wider on one side than the other." Yeah, because it got the guides done. Okay, so when you bore it out, put K-lines in it, and then hone the K-lines to fit, it may not be exactly dead center of where it was. Now, it'll be close. But now, you've got something really straight for your pilot to go into. And really straight, honed guides that are the right size make doing a valve job so much easier. I cannot emphasize enough how important guides that are straight and the right size are. Nobody talks about that, as far as I know, anywhere. Okay, I worked for a long time not knowing that a lot of the problems I was having were due to guides. That was a long, painful learning curve. Okay, remember, if the guides aren't good, every time the valve hits, it's going to be a little off center. That's where that whole "we need hardened seats" nonsense comes from. You don't need hardened seats. You need guides that hold the valve where it should be. And I'm going to do a video on why I think 50-degree seats got the popularity that they do too. It's got a lot to do with guides and clearance. Okay, next stone. Now the reason this one has a radius is because I don't want it to let it take any more metal off of where the plug is. So I radius that so it clears it. Now this has got more of an angle than the last one. I'm not going to tell you the exact angles because it's DV's fancy valve job. And he's going to go over that. He doesn't want me to go over that. So this is going to be next cut down. Okay, now looking at it, this is not the way it's going to be because, let's see if you can see on this one. See, I took it down almost even with that little cut. So I'm going to wind up bringing this down more, but I want to show you guys how I do it. You see those angles there? Okay, you can see the top angle with the space between it. And then we got another small angle. Now we can do our throat angle, and we can manipulate that to get the size we want for our valve. Okay, the throat cuts out quick because of the steeper angle. Notice I didn't have a bounce spring on there because the bounce springs actually come in two different heights. They have a tall one and a short one. I can't find any of my short ones. I haven't had any short ones for a while. So I changed my speed because I have my speed controls, right? And I just changed the speed of my driver, and I can do whatever I want without the bounce spring. Now you can see I just left a touch of the original 45 that I'm going to hit DV's custom angle on. not sure if you guys can see them angles or not. But you can see we've got our throat cut, we've got our seat, we've got our top cut, and then really the 15 just kind of blends all those ridges and garbage into that radius, into the chamber. That makes my life getting each chamber a lot closer. Now I'm going to have to take these seats and lower them down to get rid of this cut that I don't like here. But as far as a demo, a short quickie demo, I was having trouble getting a good focus on this today. Let's pull that up. Okay, I think it was trying to focus on the pilot. Alright guys, thanks for hanging out. I figured I'd show you some of the, small advantages of stones. Well, I probably should show you one other thing. Hold on. Alright, this is just some of the stones that are available. Regis makes really nice stones. I really like their stones. Goodson makes a decent stone. Goodson supports DV. I appreciate that. Some of these, all the different colors, I'm sure somebody knows exactly what they're made of. I don't. But you can get this style stone in a very fine grit for finishing, or you can get a roughing stone. Like this is the same type of stone, but it's a roughing stone. I don't know if you guys can see there's a big difference in the coarseness of the material. These pink stones I've had since, I can't tell you how old they are. They're old. They're very tough. This is actually a stellite stone for really nasty hardened seats. It eats right through them like they were nothing. This stone was a brown stone. It's super tough. It actually has a piece missing out of it. But that stone is ancient. It hardly wears at all. It's got the diamond's got no problem with it, though, I tell you. I don't even know where I got this red stone from, but it hasn't been used in a long time. And let's see, this is a finishing stone here. All right, guys. There's plenty other design stones out there for any application, really. Thanks a lot.